Yes, I guess so. All right. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is regular scheduled meeting, Hill County Commissioners Court. 24th day of February, 2026, 8:30 a.m. Hill County Courtroom. We do have a quorum present. We can go ahead and start with prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come to you now. We ask you for your wisdom as these men make decisions for this community. Father God, we just pray that you would just pour out your provision on this place at this time. Father, we just need you so much. We ask that you would bless this county, you would bless this state, this nation, and this world. Father God, we need your presence in a mighty way today. Father, it's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
But allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
All right. How are you this morning, Commissioner?
Oh, I'm well. I've been working on the drainage project out on 1211. And I got a couple of guys tied up on that, have been. I've got Yoder coming in next week. Jason finishes with Larry's bridge, and he's gonna put in a little concrete culvert to help some of the drainage and get into the floodplain. And other than that, we're just trying to get the roads back in shape after that ice. It's set up like concrete and rutted out and potholed out. And I'm sure everybody has the same problem. We got a tall hill to climb to get those back in shape. We're shooting for the fence every day.
Commissioner?
I had an exciting week last week at the conference and learned a few things, but yeah, Arlen's putting this little 18-foot bridge on a low water crossing over 2129, 2133. That's been a very low water crossing for small cars, and he's gonna raise it up about 3-4 feet to take that dip out of it, and then we're still cutting some brush down some county roads south of Aquila, cutting the right of ways back. And then we're back all in rock and trying to hit weak spots.
Commissioner?
Oh, pretty much the same thing, trying to get back from freeze, get back in shape, and got 2 motor graders running and got 4 trucks hauling where we can find rock. Connors is limited to 1 load per truck per day.
Wow.
So that's a challenge. And so just we're trying to stockpile some of that, so when we do get some rain, at least we'll have something to go with.
Commissioner?
We're trying to fill a bunch of potholes, and someone was nice enough to dump an entire dump truck of trash in one of our ditches. So I guess we're gonna have to take care of that, and hopefully David's gonna fix them up, because they do have a name and address, so that's good. It'll work good. It's sharp enough to remove their mail. So anyway.
Yeah.
Good, just busy.
Ms. Lincoln, how's JPO today?
We have been very busy. We have had 5 expulsions in the last 2 weeks to our JJP program, which was unexpected, but I also think that those candidates will be in your court. And so we kind of knew it was the calm before the storm, and we've been super busy the last couple of weeks. Expect to be busy for the remainder of the school year. Our truancy prevention program is going magnificently. Ms. Rodriguez is doing great work with that. We've had over, I think, 250 truancy referrals this year. And so we've been super busy, and they're keeping us on our toes.
How's the county surveyor this morning?
Okay, yes, yeah, got a few subdivisions on the agenda today.
Ms. Parker?
Good morning, everyone. You can't hear me if I stay back there. So
You're all right.
Here. Give you a recap of our month of January. I missed the last 4, so I do apologize. We issued 311 W-2s for a little over $12 million. We issued a 65-1099 miscellaneous for $39 million, 115-1099 necks for a little over $2 million. AP checks, we issued 227 invoices for a total of 167 checks, 427,000. We issued 535 invoices for the EFT side, which issued 479 actual EFTs with $745,000. On the HR side, we issued 452 payroll checks, a little over $1 million, all paid timely, no errors. We had 3 FMLA cases. We had 3 other cases that were not FMLA related or workers' comp related. We had 1 workers' comp injury and 3 people utilized the sick pool. Very busy month.
Thank you, man. Mr. Jackson, how are you, sir?
Oh, good, as we can see, the last couple of days, it's dry. We've had numerous damage in the cars, we decided that we're all just about farms, not people actually ready to. Outside that, last week we met with the consultant that the county required to review the county's emergency plan. So we'll put that forward. That would be completed about August, timeline, and then this week I'll do a training.
Humidity is still extremely low, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Sheriff, how are you this morning? I know you guys haven't had anything going on.
Good, Judge. Just have a few hours of breaking. We're trying to get prepared. Plumbing job yesterday for a leak. Seemed like a pretty seamless repair. They fixed it within an hour. So trying to keep it building up and people happy. We're working on the illegal dumping the commissioner brought up, so. We left the air on, so that's
Pretty handy. Call that a clue.
yeah.
Miss True, how are you this morning? Hillsborough EDC. All's well?
Okay, Betsy, it's growing real nice, very close to me right now.
ESD1.
Everything's going good, Judge. We just started a new readiness form for our department, so trying to see where they're at and have some way of judging where they're at from this year to next year. So we can just get an even line of what everybody has and their capabilities. And we're starting to get them 10 more radios. We're working with emergency management for the trucks, so that we save roads around the roads. So better communication.
Development services, how are you this morning?
And pretty busy for us as well. We've like the survey said, we've got subdivisions coming in, we're looking at, we've got a couple more plats on the Scaring desks that are needing to be given a once over and get approved. We have met with Environmatics last week over some of the cooling and heating systems of all the buildings. They needed an update. We got some training on them. We had the fire suppression on this courthouse, needed a new suppression last week, and I Walker worked about 11 hours last Monday on that to get it up and going for. Other than that, just chugging along as usual.
They did that, it was great, they got that scheduled on the holiday, so we didn't have to interrupt any dockets or anything to get that done. Constable, how are you, sir? You're doing well.
I was just busy with tax paper, just everybody needs to pay their taxes.
Right.
Never realized money's tight. That's what we're getting flooded with tax paper.
Exactly.
Getting 10, 15 at a time each.
Wow. Auditor's office?
Working towards our audit, we successfully satisfied one of the Senate Bill 22 grants was closed out for prosecutor office for 24. That's been an ongoing kind of crazy thing, trying to understand what they want. Never had such a problem. But anyway, we've got our list of things. We've started work with the outside auditors, and they'll start their official field work the first week of April. Just. Busy. Taking care of things.
Good.
Mr. Holt?
I don't have any report judgment.
As far as my office, we were at a conference last week, which was pretty good, pretty educational. Then obviously just here and there with some of these other things that you've already heard about, and we've been involved with, so. We'll go ahead and move on. To open forum. Do we have anybody here in the courtroom for open forum this morning?
Yes, sir. I would like to speak.
Go ahead, if you'll step up to the podium and let us know your name.
I'm Linda Polly. I'm going to read from my notes to make sure I do not omit any of our
And I'm gonna
concerns.
give you 5 minutes. Okay.
That's fine. I'm gonna take that one.
Okay.
So, my family has owned our land in Hill County for generations. And I'm deeply concerned about what appears to be a push for development with no focus or regard for the adverse impacts it will have on our county. I've spoken with many of my neighbors and other Hill County residents, and we are concerned that this Commissioner's Court is proceeding with incentivizing projects that are detrimental to our way of life and damaging to our property. Sadly, you are incentivizing projects that no one else wants. Wind, solar, and data centers are not ideal land uses and ultimately diminish our land values and limit the positive growth in Hill County. Growth for the sake of growth is not what citizens of Hill County want. We do not want more wind turbines, solar farms, and data centers. You are granting tax abatements and incentives to these projects, and you need to consider the long-term adverse impacts of what you are doing. I have talked to many of my neighbors, and there is a tremendous amount of frustration with the Hubbard Wind 2 Next Era Wind project and the complete lack of transparency associated with this project. By the time most property owners became aware, your deal had already been cut. The locations were hidden until construction began. How can people provide meaningful comments when no one is aware of what is being proposed? To be honest, this secrecy is extremely troubling to all of us. As elected officials, you should be concerned about transparency and allow your constituents to have a voice. Before approving abatements for these type of projects, it would help transparency if maps detailing the project area were available and made public for citizens to see. This would allow people to provide meaningful feedback. The citizens of Hill County would appreciate your transparency and the opportunity for us to be heard. We do not want any more wind, solar, or data centers incentivized. Please stop granting tax rebates to projects that decrease land value for Hill County property owners. Please consider the investment we have in the land. And I'm not talking about money. It's not always about money. It's about our love for our land. It's about our respect for our ancestors that came to this county. They cleared this land with axes, grubbing hoes, saws, and mules and dynamite to remove the stumps. It wasn't always this pristine, great black land that you see now and all of this great pasture that we're looking at. And furthermore, just please stop incentivizing wind, solar, and data center projects before you completely destroy this county. I hope you will consider your obligation to your constituents as you proceed with decisions on these projects. And Commissioner Holcomb, we want you to know that we stand with you. We appreciate you being the voice on this court that realizes the detriment that the solar, wind, and the data centers are doing and will do if these projects continue to be approved. Thank you for all your time.
Thank you, Ms. Fuller. All right. Steve?
Just to clarify, will we be able to address the data center stuff when we get to item 22?
closed session.
It's a closed session, I believe.
Well,
That's
22
executive session.
22 is when you come out of executive session for the vote.
No, ma'am, that is not a public session. I mean, you can be here, but. no.
I just didn't know if you were going to be allowing people to address court during agenda items.
No.
Okay, so, yeah. Last time I asked the data center guy if he was gonna build, whether there was an abatement or not. That was a rhetorical question. They are going to build. And when you guys say that you have no power to stop this, and then you go into negotiations for an abatement, you're either lying or you actually don't have power and don't need to move forward with an abatement. There's not really a lot of wiggle room there. You're either going to give a huge corporation a lot of money, let them keep a lot of money when people are trying to pay their taxes. You're not giving this kind of abatement to the average resident. And they're the ones who are going to lose their homes over this. If a Nexus data center can't pay their taxes, they're just going to declare bankruptcy, leave their trash, and go. At the last meeting, Nexus talked about how they're getting ready to pull water from deep wells, from the reservoirs, and from the sky. They're going to pull water from everywhere, as Texas is in a huge water crisis already. Texas Water Development Board has been posting on their Facebook page about the level of increase in the drought and the intensification of the drought areas in not just South Texas, but Central and North Texas as well. We're right between a couple of very serious red areas that are expanding and are just going to get worse. How much has the water problem cost the little city of Marlin? A lot of money. Are we ready for that here in Hill County? I don't live in the Hubbard area. I'm completely on the other side of the county in Whitney. But how you guys handle this and make this decision is going to impact us, because this will not be the last data center that comes to Hill County. You're setting a precedent here. The precedent that's already been set with the abatements with the solar wind farms is already bad. Already bad. You should at the least table this for a serious public hearing that people can attend at not just 8:30 in the morning on a work day when they can't get here, but during a time where, like the Nexus Town Hall in Hubbard that they had, but they refused to allow people to record. Everybody here is aware that having a meeting open to the public versus letting the public record are two very distinct issues. They did not. The data center would not let the public be on record in a recorded session. That's a huge trust issue already. So moving forward with whatever they're negotiating, big red flags, big red flags. I won't go into a lot of stuff, but the second thing I wanted to add was your elections administrator is not fulfilling records requests. I have submitted a records request for information that has already been released to the public. There is no AG opinion to seek. There is no 10-day waiting period. And this was requested on February 15th. Please ask your elections administrator to follow the law and fill these records requests in a timely manner, promptly, without delay. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Steele. All right, I think I saw another hand for open forum. Okay, you can file that at a later time. Right now, we're in open forum. Mr. Price? Say your name for the record, please, sir. Then you've got 5 minutes.
My name is Joe Price. I've got a small vegetable farm. The other side of Peoria, 7 mile west of there, and we've got just a very brief road. My address is 142-2401, that north side. I think there's been some confusion on the numbers and stuff as far as we don't get much maintenance on that road, and I was kind of hoping to seek a little bit of help on getting that road back up to standard. We're gonna have large groups of people coming out this spring to visit our property and pick the fruits and vegetables and stuff, and I'd like to kind of get that road back into shape. If
What's
possible.
the road name?
2401,
2401.
Yeah,
north.
north.
It's,
We're on the north side of the Highway 22.
that road is,
Split between.
yeah, it's split. Yeah, it's one of those that's.
I have the south side and he has
Yeah,
the north side.
Okay.
Yeah. If we could, I know it's an older road and it's got a lot of natural gravel on it, and I've been trying to maintain it, but it's really, really thin. Yeah, it's getting rough, it's getting really bad, but. Looking at, I appreciate that. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Brackett. I saw another, there it is. Yes, sir. State your name, please, sir, in 5 minutes.
My name is Jeff Mashburn. I'm a resident of Hill County for a little over 12 years now. And I do appreciate the opportunity to speak to y'all this morning. So I've got a very broad, long background in energy projects in the state of Texas at different levels, from the construction side, energy engineering, across the state and across the United States. I've been involved with a lot of issues with Hill County. I represent myself and other taxpayers in regards to tax abatements, specifically solar farms in the wind turbine industry. I was part of that industry and got out of it several years back. I've been involved with the process for taxpayers to get fair representation to the court. We've got several cases that we're pursuing right now. That's contract worth $5.2 billion in the surrounding area here in Hill County. Part of the problem that people are now understanding and that aren't aware of how the process works is representation, fair representation with tax abatements. Once you set up the reinvestment zone with the school district, whoever comes to a tax abatement agreement with the solar farm or wind turbine, it's all done behind closed doors. Taxpayers have no representation. The process of attorneys and counselors that quote are supposed to be representing taxpayers aren't representing taxpayers. They're paid for, directed by the solar farm and wind turbine people. So we're challenging that. And I met with Judge Lewis here a little over 5 years ago. And I've known about what's going on in Hill County since 2013. The land has been mapped out. Our challenge is 313 agreements that were in place at the time were totally fraudulent. They were sold to the taxpayers based on fraud. These solar farms were coming to Hill County, whether you gave these people an abatement or not. It was going to happen. This land's been mapped out for years. Where these were going to go. There's a lot of reasons why solar farms are put where they're at. The tax abatement really has no bearing in it. So taxpayers have been treated unfairly. I've been treated unfairly. When you allow a school district, after you set up a reinvestment zone, to enter into a tax abatement, give away millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in tax abatements, and then the school district turn around and ask us to pass bonds. It's not right. It's not right. And the process is not transparent in any way, shape, or form. But the Nexus data center, a lot of unknowns on the data center. I have a list of questions. I doubt very seriously you can answer most of these. I'll leave this with you because I know you can't answer them. But the data center, there's a lot of stuff on the data center that's not very clear right now on which type of cooling system. So besides being in the energy industry, I worked for 10 years with one of the largest engineering companies doing data center projects. My job was to test the data centers to try to break them. So from the cooling sides, the electrical side, the power generation side, that was my job. So the Nexus data center that they advertised, they're gonna have on-site generation. That's great. That may be perfect. But is that data center going to be connected to the grid in case they have a fault on their side? Is the grid going to be impacted by a load of some sort? You know, the data center is advertised at 600 megawatt. I don't think that's exactly accurate. I think probably the data center capacity is really less than 300 because it's a redundant system. The Nexus should have applied with ERCOT, the PUC, and their provider for an interconnect agreement. Do y'all have any record of that? An interconnect agreement? Are they connected to the municipality on the water side for just regular water, any building would use? Or are they connected to the municipal sewer system? So if those records aren't available and there's not drawings, schematic design, construction drawings, this discussion shouldn't even be happening as far as the abatement goes. So if the court doesn't have that information, I would seriously recommend that this thing be tabled, because it will be challenged. And the whole process is not, again, transparency, very lack of transparency across the board. But believe me, in Hill County, there's a lot going on in Hill County. There's a lot that's fixing to come out in Hill County with our legal challenges we're bringing to the court that we filed with the federal court last February and March, and there's more coming. So just want to make the court real clear. What y'all do, y'all are people of knowledge, you know what's going on, and you'll be held accountable when this does get to the court, and it will. So I just want to make that very clear. As taxpayers, we don't appreciate what's going on. And I'm not talking just Hill County. I'm working with the U.S. Justice Department in the southern part of Texas, the middle part of Texas, and now North Central Texas to represent myself and taxpayers. And the word's getting out, and we have a lot of people now waking up to what's going on. So I just want to be very clear and understand, we're not going to sit back and just take this. And I do appreciate the people's concern and their views on their land and the impact on the land. But from the financial standpoint, as taxpayers, we're fed up with it. Me specifically, and I speak for a lot of people. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else here for open forum? Do we have anybody sign up online? Nobody sign up online? All right. That leads us to our consent agenda. This is action on minutes, invoices, payrolls, monthly report for revenue and disbursements, and observer report elected officials trainings. I do think Ms. Parker has something that she would like to address in reference to the consent agenda.
Good morning again. Last Commissioner's Court, Commissioner Lake made a comment about our payables and the way they're presented. I wanted to take a moment to see how our office could better serve you. We do have 2 reports behind the court order that Judge Brazel has, and I wanted to see which report you prefer over the other.
That's when you said.
Yes, ma'am. And I broke it down by the page numbers and each different report format and kind of how you see it 2 different views.
What is wrong?
I think it's this right.
No, I'm not.
Nope. Don't name Miss Christie. Yeah. And I believe you did email this. You wanted to-
Kind of breaks it down by phone, but you have to go through each thing, figure out who it is. This one breaks it down by department, so you have one just follow the district vision, so so there's 2 different reports.
Gotcha.
I'm just not sure which one you're ready to satisfy the needs of all of the sheriffs. Because they do have a duty to look at everybody's expenditures.
Do you gentlemen have a preference to give Ms. Parker some guidance on how you would prefer that report? There's 2 different formats.
I prefer the one where all of our stuff is listed together, not strung out all down through there.
So he likes the report on the left. Yes, sir.
That would be very helpful sometimes, which I do look at every one of them.
Absolutely.
But if
And that one is by
if you're looking for something in a hurry, trying to find a specific thing, you don't have to scroll through
everybody.
everything.
Sure. And I just want to know which one. It'll save time and paper, just having one singular format rather than 2 different.
I'm fine with that.
So the one on the left.
That's the one, yeah.
Which type of?
That's the one we're talking about.
Broke down.
Okay, so the department. right here.
Everything's together.
It's easier to review than things.
Moving forward, we'll make sure that one is the only one that you'll get in your packet and we'll move forward that way. All right, thank you all.
Okay. Appreciate that, gentlemen. All right, so I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Make motion approved.
Second, have a motion from Commissioner Hawkins, a second from Commissioner Holden to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Here.
There we go.
You guys get through some of those before we move on.
Sam, did you do that shit?
There.
As those are finishing up, passing around, we'll go ahead and move on to number one, discussing our action on employee wage / status changes. We have two wage changes today. Alyssa Oldham and Brianna Gardner, both with PSO. I'll entertain a motion.
Make motion. Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Hawkins, a second to approve the employee wage status changes from Commissioner Crumpton. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, number two, discuss interaction on budget amendments. Ms. Quillen, any input on these?
I guess we need to go to the certification of revenues for the budget amendment.
Okay.
It's the next item. There was just one certification.
Move to number three, discuss interaction on certification of revenue.
And that was for the donations to the CERT program. We were just certifying those into revenue in the amount of $1,500 and putting those in the emergency management line for the CERT volunteer expense 30. We were certifying that revenue. Certification of revenue that we give.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion to approve the certification of revenue from Commissioner Holcomb, a second from Commissioner Crumpton. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
And then on the budget amendments, the budgeting that money, so we increase donation budget and then increase the expense for that, so. For that same thing, we certified in the $1,500.
With motion approved.
Second.
I also have two others as well.
Yes, and we have two others. They're both regarding the appraisal district. When we were paying the bills, we noticed that our budget was, we were under budget 94,000 for the appraisal district for the general and 11,445 for the FM lateral tax. So we're looking at that, seeing how we can get better estimates. The problem is when they establish their budgets, they give us a percentage, so we don't know what is based on the valuations of everyone. And so it increased substantially over what they provided to us in the summer. But anyway, we're asking a budget amendment out of contingency for general fund of $94,510 and adding that to the budget line item for the appraisal district fees, $94,510. That'll make us square for the year. We just wanted to tag those contingency funds before somebody else wanted them. Something else. For the FM lateral, we, the payment to agencies we set up is about 32,000 for the year, and we haven't been spending that. That's usually to help with the fill of water, the mowing on the dams or what have you. So we decided to take the money out of there for now. So we're increasing the appraisal district fees by 11,445 and fund 200 and taking that out of those payment to agencies.
All right. I believe I got a motion. All right. You did? Did I get a second? Okay. A motion from Commissioner Holcomb, second from Commissioner Hawkins to take action on the budget amendments. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Carried. That puts us at number 4, discuss interaction on transfer balance of $13,240.69 plus interest earned from Texas Class Government Investment Account to Texas Class Money Market Investment Account, allowing for the closure of the Texas Class Government Investment Account.
That's just kind of a joint thing.
Yeah.
I recommended, we have two different accounts at Texas Class. A small account with this 13,000 and then our other account. The other account earns more interest, and it was the recommendation of the investment committee just to close that government account and move it to the other account. Just simplify some bookkeeping.
Any questions, gentlemen?
Make a motion.
Second. I have a motion from Commissioner Hawkins, a second from Commissioner Crumpton to approve transfer of a balance of $13,240.69 plus interest earned from Texas Class Government Investment Account to Texas Class Money Market Investment Account, allowing for the closure of the Texas Class Government Investment Account. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. And we're on to number 5, discuss interaction on an advertising for county supplies, offsite and onsite fuel, oil, road material, corrugated steel pipe, petroleum supplies and emulsions, treated lumber, all types of road-based contracts for crushing services, concrete, corrugated bridges, box culvert construction, contract for hauling, mobile truck / heavy equipment, washing services, scrap metal bids, and other supplies or services to be effective April 1st, 2026.
I got a motion.
Second.
And that is your motion to approve to advertise?
Yeah, yes.
All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Holcomb, a second from Commissioner Hawkins. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, discuss interaction on communication system agreement between Hill County and CareFlight for the use of a radio system. Lieutenant Jackson, come on forward.
It's just the standard agreement that's already been approved by the court. They are the EMS provider that's contracted through ESP2 for the county, so naturally, every first responder wants to be able to communicate with them. And they have their own system, but this way they can use ours and theirs, just depending upon the need.
Any questions? Any discussion?
Second. Make a motion, whatever.
So.
You said that. What? What?
Commissioner Crumpton makes a motion for the approval of communication system agreement between Hill County and CareFlight for the use of the radio system. Commissioner Hawkins makes the second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Number 7, discuss interaction on interlocal agreement between Hill County, Texas and the city of Hillsborough regarding emergency management coordinator services. Why don't you go sit down? You knew you were there. Mr. Jackson, can you paraphrase what this agreement is in reference to?
It is still pending all of our great legal minds' opinions between the county and the city, but just wanted to bring forward the idea of, this, after talking with the city and some of the county leaders, basically the city wants to use me as the emergency management coordinator for the city as well. So currently the city's emergency management coordinator is done by the police chief. And so we would just like the county to do it as a big, we already go to all this stuff. Meaning if they have a big incident, the city, we're already there. So it just makes more logical operational sense to where if the county did the city and the city did the county, basically it's the same. One person does it both. We're already, our office is in Hillsborough, all the county main offices are in Hillsborough. We already go to all their stuff, so that's just what.
Did you negotiate hard on compensation?
No, the big thing again, it's one of those, we're already there. No matter what, any way you shake it, we're already there. While I'm not gonna deny that maybe that number needs to be looked at as time goes on, but it's hard to put a number on something when you don't know the workload is going to entail. So we started, I'm gonna say on the kind of low end, and then we'll see where it goes from there over time. And that number, I'll be honest, they just, I think, I don't want to speak that term, I'm pretty sure they're just now getting that number. I know the city manager and the mayor, but not everybody knew that number, so that's still being talked about on their side as well.
So do we want to hold off on this until we get a solid number or?
So I don't believe we're approving any contract. I mean, you can approve it as is right now. I know they're going to okay that number. The city manager and the mayor were okay with that pending the city council, but this isn't being brought before their city council until we approve it. So we won't know that number until we approve our end.
Well, like you said, the number is based off of, being as this is all new territory for us. We don't really have any stats or data to base the number off of, so after a year, we'll look at what the data looks like and see if that number needs to be changed or not.
I think it's better, it's more palatable, especially for the citizens, when if you start lower and work your way up, if you can prove there needs to be an increase rather than starting.
What does that do to your workload?
If it stays as it is, meaning, the situations that we go to in the city, it's nominal. I mean, it's nothing crazy. We already coordinate during any event, whether it's fire, whether it's rain, whether it's flood, we already do that. All this is doing is formalizing.
Yeah, what we've seen since we've just started talking about this with the city was an increased amount of communication, specifically during the ice storm we had. The communication was next level. And we were just kicking this around. We didn't have anything in writing at all yet. And so I think for multiple reasons, legal liabilities and stuff, we do need something in writing. And if they're going to compensate the county for his time, then obviously it's something in writing as well.
Surely there's administrative time involved, though.
I would think.
Would you be filing things with the state and federal government on behalf of the city of Hillsborough?
No more than we already do now. So they already have to come, if, like, for instance, if the city needs something and they can't do it, they come to us and then we have to ask them. So that it already works. Like, if they need assistance for something from the state or federal government, they have to go up through the county, and that's every city, not just Hillsborough, any municipal government has to do, they're supposed to do that already. So that wouldn't change there. What would change would be, again, hypothetically, say they have, you know, a flood and they have a whole bunch of street standing. Well, that's where the administrative comes in. If I'm their EMC and then we have to now go do all the FEMA stuff with them, like we do the commissioners when they come out and they take pictures and the paperwork gets involved and they have to go to meetings. And yes, that's when the administrative stuff, the side of it comes in that we do.
And we think lost Cindy.
The other discussion that Mr. Jackson and I have had is, if other cities see this, they may be interested as well. We've just kicked around ideas about how to handle that. If another city, we're not gonna go out and advertise, hey, we're doing this for everyone. If they approach us and ask for the same service, then we would probably scale it. So a smaller city would probably be at a smaller rate by population or something to that effect. That way, if a city does come up and say, hey, because statutorily, the emergency management function falls to the mayor of that city. And if the mayor wants to contract out those responsibilities, they can by hiring an emergency management coordinator. Well, if they don't have the funds to hire him and they still want to do it, this could be an option for a smaller city in our county.
The one thing I will rip the Band-Aid off and the judge can kick my shin later. If we start going that route, while I think operationally for the jurisdiction and for the county, that's probably a great idea. But that would definitely have to involve an additional person in the long run. Because then you get into the whole scenario again. When it rains, it floods. When it floods, you're gonna be impacting more than one city. So if Bynum, I'm just gonna give a hypothetical, say Bynum does this and Malone does this. Well, if it floods in Bynum, there's most likely some impact in Malone. Or if it floods in Hillsborough, then Bynum's most likely. You're gonna have more than one thing. And so then now you're having to dedicate one person to two different disasters in the same jurisdiction that are most likely gonna have overlapping events.
Do all those tiny towns have EMCs?
It's required. So it's, you know, like, I'll give you an example. So Bynum, for instance, most of the small towns appoint their fire chief. Love our fire departments. They don't know the job for the most part. They know they have to do certain things and they know they have to be mindful of weather. But when it gets into the reporting stuff to the state, to the federal government and working with the state and federal partners, they don't know that is.
So there's no population bracket, they're incorporated, they're required.
They're required to have, and that's what it's, so they're required to have, they're not required to have an EMC, that is up to the mayor. By default, the mayor is the emergency management director, and then that person can appoint the EMC, they don't have to. All of them do, except for Malone. Malone is the only one that the mayor is everything. Everyone else has an EMC appointed, most of them are the fire department.
And the reason why it's so complicated is because the state does what the state does and makes it as hard as possible to do that process, but it is.
Maybe drop a little Fed in there.
Yeah, and then you get the federal government and really messes it up.
I like the concept.
Operationally,
Doesn't really change.
but it makes a lot of sense because it streamlines processes. There's less cooks in the kitchen.
And I think that the biggest thing is for your bigger cities, like I'm just gonna throw it out there, say, you know, it was Hubbard, Whitney and Hillsborough. What it does is it helps streamline that communication. And we don't have a contract yet, and I will tell you, just since I was talking to them, like Judge said,
there's been an abundant flow of information from I'm gonna say the city side of it. No, we have pretty good communication with the fire, the police, but from the city side, now we have all three branches coming together of information and talk back and forth, which
And an emergency isn't just fire or tornadoes or floods. Anything that impacts a certain amount of people is considered an emergency, so water not working. Jackson is spooling up, making sure he's got water, making sure he's got transportation for said water. In case that lasts for a prolonged period of time, power outages that last for a prolonged period of time that affect a certain amount of people. He's looking for generators and looking for our elderly and disabled that live in that area to see if they need help, things like that. So it's not just the natural disasters that we see on the news every day. So. Any further discussion?
Judge, I like to just softly say, in the next year. I would love to say 3 years, but the next year, he's gonna need an assistant anyway. Just looking at how everything is going and how fast the county's growing. I'm already judging where we have to be, where ESD 2 has to be, and he's gonna need an assistant, just because. Like you said, the two ends of the county, and I've looked at other companies and different things. We're right in the middle of that triangle between San Antonio, Dallas, yeah, the whole DFW area, in Houston, and this is a prime area right here. Right above Waco.
Did you buy breakfast? Any further discussion, gentlemen?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Have a motion to approve, interlocal agreement between Bill County, Texas and the city of Hillsborough, Texas regarding emergency management coordination services from Commissioner.
And local agreement for this and local agreement.
This interlocal.
Approval of. The interlocal agreement.
This specific part,
Yes,
is it fun? I mean, it sounded like they were still talking.
well, the city won't take it under consideration until we send them ours. So if they come back and say we hate it, then we'll be seeing it again.
Okay.
I don't know that they will. So I have a motion from Commissioner Hawkins, a second from Commissioner Lake. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Eight. All right, moving on to number 8, discuss interaction on the purchase of $5,000, over $5,000 for the Hill County Sheriff's Office to purchase backup radios for the dispatch center. Derek, how are you?
You great, good, support, how are y'all?
Good.
Yeah, so, the amount exceeds $5,000, it was already budgeted in the emergency, in the radio line item for this year. Just asked for permission to go ahead and, use those funds, I think it's a little over 24,000. For backup radio, the quotes for adding radios, testing existing radios, then coax. Grounding and adding antennas and testing existing antennas. And adding gateways for the new radios.
The copy I have says 18,000.
I think there's two different prices. Two quotes there.
Oh, that's a. There's an 18,000 and a 5,000. Yeah.
Correct.
I see. I see. Any questions, Jim?
No new funding, like I said, it was already budgeted.
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion to approve the purchase of over $5,000 for Hill County Sheriff's Office to purchase backup radios for dispatch from Commissioner Lake, a second from Commissioner Hawkins. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Court. Number 9, discuss interaction to declare a 2010 Chevrolet Tahoe as salvage or surplus for Hill County Juvenile Probation Department. Mr. Lincoln, come on up.
Good morning, how are y'all this morning?
Doing what?
Actually, the next two are similar and related. We have a 2010 Chevy Tahoe that was donated to us by the constable's office many years ago, and we noticed some mechanical issues with it. We got a bid for repairs and it was over $7,200. The vehicle itself is only worth $2,900, and so we just want to move forward with making that surplus, getting that to the auction, and then that money, actually, we would just request that it would go to the general fund, because that's not a vehicle that we paid for. And then we are in the process currently of getting bids to purchase another vehicle for our department. And again, just want to highlight, that's going to be at no cost, additional cost to the county. That is within our budget that we have already, so it's not going to be anything additional that the county commissioners will have to pay for, so.
Sounds like good news.
Make a motion approve.
So we have a motion to approve to declare the 2010 Chevy Tahoe salvage or surplus for Hill County Juvenile Probation Department from Commissioner Compton, and a second from Commissioner Hopkins. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Make a motion to sell it.
All right, I have a motion to sell the 2010 Chevy Tahoe through auction for Hill County Juvenile Probation Department. You want to name the auction? Do we have to?
I'm sorry.
Do we have to name the auction? Who's gonna sell it?
Yes.
You made the motion, sir.
Patterson's on our past ones, yes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Motion from Commissioner Holcomb, second from Commissioner Hawkins. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Number 11, discuss interaction regarding Kathy Smith as a designated TCEQ representative for Hill County. Mr. Crossan? Ms. Smith, how are you?
How are you?
How are y'all this morning? As you. We did not.
We did not plan that.
As we've mentioned before, the county is growing, getting bigger, faster, with the new residents coming in, the OSSF, on-site sewage facilities has become a fairly full-time job. So I asked Ms. Smith to step in as the primary designated rep for the county. I will be a backup in case she's out of town, I'm out of town, we can cover down for each other. She has completed the school and the certification to become the designated rep. She passed with flying colors. So I highly recommend that she steps in as primary designated rep to approve and inspect all on-site sewage facilities for the county. With a little help from me when she needs it, but she will be the primary designated rep.
It's the concept I've talked about multiple times within the county that I'm trying to push, which is what he said in military lingo, which was cover down. But basically, having multiple people qualified to do the jobs, because unfortunately, if somebody is hit by a bus tomorrow, we will send flowers, but we have business to do the next day. And so we want somebody that knows how to do, not just one person holding the keys to a job. Everyone needs to know how to do everybody's job. So Mr. Crossan has ensured that in his department by having Ms. Smith, and she took the initiative and really, from what I hear, really went after her classes and her testing. It is a test, state test, so I'm really excited about it.
And also, she's been helping Deputy Ward for several years now do all the paperwork, so she's honestly more qualified to do it than I am, so.
Good, have qualified people around you. Perfect.
Make a motion to designate Kathy Smith as the TCEQ representative for Hill County.
Thank you.
I have a motion from Commissioner Holcomb, a second from Commissioner Hawkins. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I think congratulations.
Absolutely, or condolences.
Or condolences. All right, number 12. Open a public hearing regarding the cancellation of a portion of the plat of Pioneer Cove subdivision filed of record July 31st, 1950, specifically canceling a portion of Linda Lee Crossing subdivision road that was never installed adjacent to lot 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Commissioner?
So,
This is your
is there anybody here to speak to the public hearing?
just man.
I would just like to ask for.
Sorry. Podium, please, ma'am.
Stand.
With Steele?
Yes, to echo the lady right here from earlier, so a little bit more transparency would be great. You have a pretty decent packet online that is posted with your agenda. But the only thing that is here in this packet regarding this public hearing is just a quick little paragraph. And there's reference to an application, but there's no maps, nothing involved here or shown here, released to the public that would actually inform the public on what the topic is or why we would even want to participate in the public hearing. So I would like to encourage the court to beef up their packets with a little bit more information on not only on this topic, but stuff like the data center. The maps that were released on that one were illegible, and I got them. We can get this information via a public record request, but you know, one person having them is just not the same as it being released to the public. So.
Wasn't there a map the last court?
Yeah, there's a map on this, it's in the
There
record.
was a map the last court.
This is the public hearing packet for this meeting.
I know.
Okay. We'll take that into consideration. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else here to speak for the public hearing in reference to the closing cancellation of the portion of Linda Lee Crossing? No what? All right, we're gonna go ahead and close that public hearing. Number 14, discuss interaction regarding the cancellation of a portion of a plat of Pioneer Cove subdivision filed of record July 31st, 1950, specifically canceling a portion of Linda Lee Crossing subdivision road never installed adjacent to lots 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40.
Make a motion to cancel the portion of the plat Pioneer Cove subdivision filed record July 31st, 1950, specifically canceling the portion of Linda Lee Crossing subdivision road that was never installed adjacent to lots 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Holcomb, a second from Commissioner Hawkins. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Number 17. No, number 15. Public hearing to set and install traffic control devices in the form of a 35-mile-per-hour speed limit sign on Hill County Road 3422. Anybody here to speak on the public hearing to set and install traffic control devices on 3422? Yes, ma'am.
Same. Transparency, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I've had a request, that's my road, and I've had a request by an individual just because of heavy traffic and, they just moved to the area and asked if we install 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, so here we are.
Anybody else? All right, we're gonna.
We got publication, I believe.
We have proof of publication, all right. So we'll close the public hearing and now let's discuss or take action to install a traffic control device in form of 35-mile-per-hour speed limit sign on Hill County Road 3422.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion from Commissioner Hawkins, second from Commissioner Lake. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Number 18, discuss interaction on minor plat for Redbird Meadows subdivision phase 1. Yeah, man. Mr. Inch, do you have any input on this one?
Everybody's ignored. Yeah, something you need.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
We have everything.
Okay. So you recommend approval, sir?
Yes, I do.
It's a minor plat for Redbird Meadows subdivision phase 1. It looks like a single lot. It is 3327 FM 933 Whitney, Texas. It's coming off of the FM road.
Yeah, I think that's the one they have a right of way to go into.
Yeah, that's not on the side.
Yeah, it's text dot. This is nothing, this is county roads.
They're building this.
What's it say?
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve the minor plat of Redbird Meadows subdivision phase 1 from Commissioner Compton, a second from Commissioner Holcomb. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. They've been asking us to sign. They've been asking us, Christie, to have a sign.
That is good. Those are your actions.
I don't think they're, you know, because we see. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We approve it, so we probably. Number 20, discuss interaction on a replat for the Davis addition. What's that? Oh, sorry. 19, I skipped 19. Discuss interaction on a minor plat for Williams Estate phase 1. Okay. Also, one law, 432 Hill County Road 1221, Blum, Texas. So. I think they're ready. Strong. Mr. Ince, any input on this one?
We have them do triple minor plat. Recommend to approve. We have all the documentation.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to approve the plat, Commissioner Bolton, second, just Commissioner Compton. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now, number 20, discuss interaction on a replat for Davis Addition. And this is going to be. Easy 6th Street, East 6th Street. Mr. Ince, any input on this one?
This one is in the city of Guam and it's basically a deep size, third of a lot size, which is and incorporates farms, a alleys or a road. It's not.
This one was the last.
City should be on board with city utilities. Recommend approval.
So they've got our utilities and everything.
Yeah, we've got utility letters from the city of Guam. We're paying housing, water, availability, or sewer to. Pretty sure.
Big development for that little place.
We've got a motion to approve the replat from Davis Edition from Commissioner Holcomb. Second from Commissioner Compton. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carried. We had this one our last one. Our last, yeah. Yes. There was a first concern, that's why. All right, well, that's going around. We'll move to number 21. Pursuant to section 551.087, Texas Government Code, the Commissioners Court will meet in a closed/executive session to discuss or deliberate regarding commercial and financial information that the Commissioner Court has received from a business prospect that the Commissioners Court seeks to have locate, stay, or expand in Hill County, and with which the Commissioner Court is conducting economic development negotiations, and to deliberate the offer of a financial or other incentives to the business prospect data center.